What it do? Thank you for another midweek tap in with your boy King Crowder, man. Thank you for tapping in. I know you could be anywhere in the world, in the universe, but you chose to tap in and be here with your boy. If you are new to the channel, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and most importantly, share the live. Today's topic, let's get right into it. Michael B. Jordan won the Oscars, and I want you to pay attention to how many people try to claim FBA's creativity and what the foundation has set up this evening. So today, if you didn't watch the Oscars or you haven't paid attention, it's about the film Sinners. I would highly recommend, if you haven't seen that film, to watch it. And the reason why you have to watch the film Sinners is you will understand why, it was a groundbreaking film. It was groundbreaking because it was creative, it was insightful, it was different, and most importantly, it was an unapologetically Black, told almost historically 100% accurate story. If you do not know, the film took place in the Mississippi Delta, the home and the roots to many of the foundation of this country. This movie goes into a historical norm known as when the Asians were the merchant class, the Black was living under Jim Crow, trying to survive and trying to make a living, and the white were, of course, oppressing in that time frame. The reason why Sinners is so good is because it gives you so many gems and people just don't even catch it, and many just don't even understand it. Let's start off at the beginning. Sinners is a FBA story. The reason why Sinners resonates so much with us, ladies and gentlemen, it is a story told outside of the norm and the peer view that's been told about right now. Many people, when they hear stories in today's society, it's always white savior, action film, or a white complex. Sinners is an outlier, but it's soon to become the normal. If you don't have brothers in LA, I always say this, ladies and gentlemen, Black cinematic films about FBA history will continue to break records. And Sinners broke records because it was something that was near, dear, and real to the spirit. You know, another reason why Sinners, the energy around it broke so many records, ladies and gentlemen. What I tell people is that when you look at these brothers, right, they resonate with other Black American men. Look at this picture, y'all. A picture is worth 1,000 words. When you look at Ryan Coogler, he looks like a regular street ninja. When you hear him talk, when you see his mannerisms, when you see him talk in the reverence he gives, and he already spoke on the foundation, when you see Michael B. Jordan, you see a brother who is confidently proud of himself, who is not afraid to express himself, who is not afraid to touch and talk about different issues. The film Sinners is such a dude because of the eye look of it first. Y'all gotta remember, these are not the Sambo class of guys, the ones that are happy to be there, the ones that go along to get along, the Black Americans that are not detached from the Black culture. Both of these brothers are intact. Both of these brothers are firmly footstool inside of the foundation. You got to understand, they are getting their resonation and popularity based on foundational Black American history, society, and how we came up. Why is that a problem when you think about it? I want you to think about it for a second, y'all. If you haven't been reading the news right now, what it do? Sinners is in the news right now, y'all, for not having diversity in thought. Sinners is being talked about right now as not having an openly gay character in the film. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But I want y'all to pay attention to something. These narratives of always being diverse in thought are only placed among many Black film directors. Follow me. We don't ask that among Parasite. We don't ask that among many other white film directors. We don't ask that of anybody else to hit a certain diversification quota. Hollywood is literally having an open conversation as we speak. Is why didn't Sinners have representation off of film that was forecast? And if you do not know American history, in the 1930s, when it was literally the foundation in many white Americans. The conversation is not on this historic run. The conversation isn't about how this film broke down barriers. The conversation is on why didn't they do more? And that is very intentional, ladies and gentlemen. It is very intentional because I want you to look at these brothers again. If you go to any hood in America, Ryan Coogler could fit in. If you go to any project in America, Michael B. Jordan could fit in. And that is not done by chance. You got to understand, y'all, young boys specifically have the attention to be visual learners. What do you mean by that, King Crowder? I see who I could be. I see what I can produce. I visually see who are people that look like me. And the reason why Sinners is such a haymaker film is that it is honestly a FBA tale. It's not lied upon. It speaks on how people that are outside of our ethnicity use and monetize it, but don't want to part to be in our struggles. It mentions how one of the person outside the ethnicity put the rest of them in harm's way because she was in her feelings. It dives into the love story. It dives into the religious aspect. And most importantly, it dives into Black masculinity. And if you don't pay attention to those films and creativity aspects of that film, it will go across you. You might not catch it all in real time, but that is the problem they have with Sinners, ladies and gentlemen. Sinners is a FBA film, unapologetically spoken, speaking about the history of Black Americans, and it will continue to do numbers. I look on Netflix all the time, and I look at the big shows. I had the conversation, right? The Lincoln Lawyer is a fantasy show about a Hispanic Latino lawyer in California. We had that before a film about Johnny Cochran. We have multiple films and series out right now where we have plenty of real historical stories we could use that would do numbers. But the stories have not been told. And I believe, this is just my belief here, y'all, Sinners is the first step in a lot of those things being happening. Sinners is going to kick open the door. Sinners has already sparked the conversation, and Sinners is not one of one. Sinners is a film that went against all the grain, all of the notion, all of what you have to be a featured film. Because if you do not know, ladies and gentlemen, ain't everybody tired of the influencer wave? Aren't we tired of the certain thing that has to be there in our films? People are tired of it. And I don't really understand or think that people in Hollywood, the upper class that make the filmographies understand that there has been a cultural shift among the foundation. We are saying we want authenticity in our politicians, in our movies, in our music, in our genres, in our relationships, how you talk to us across the board. People are craving originality. People are craving real talk. I know it's hot take to say this. It's the reason why Donald Trump is popular. Not because he's competent, not because he's good, but because he talks straight to most people. No matter if you like it, love it, dislike it, or hate it, that is reality of the world we're living in. We are anti-influencer how you talk to us wave. We are anti-influencer how you have to talk to us in the films you have to make. Everything that has been done in the past, people don't want to see anymore. And Sinners is ahead of the curve. Sinners is ahead of the wave. Sinners is a spark of what we want to see and what film will translate and continue to knock down barriers. And why will it continue to knock down barriers, y'all? You have to understand. If you do not know, the Oscars was named after black man. Look it up. But the Oscar films have not given out the award shows as they done to the credit. But they had to do it for Sinners because, like I tell everybody, y'all, when you look at 2025 films, tell me a movie you remember. Tell me the film that struck your mind. Tell me the film that you thought about that was good. Tell me anything in the filmography history that was done. There isn't any. So it was unbiased, unapologetically, and so true on the foundation of this country. And what is this going to spark? In my healthy opinion, y'all, in my opinion. What up, fam? How you doing, man? What's up, fam? Because I really don't like that hand waving. Okay, brother, I'll get it. It is sinister is a trend. No, brother, it's not a trend, it's a wave. It is what something that will continue to happen all the time. And as we continue to look at our historical moments, y'all, and we continue to look on the trends that are happening in this country, I want you to understand the black creative film market is wide open. I tell every creator I talk to, every filmmaker, filmographer, whoever cracks the code on the Black Panther Party is going to do numbers. Whoever cracks the code, like Tariq did on the Black Maroon Seminole War, or the Gullah Geechees, on the Swamp Veterans of Virginia, of the many ancestral stories that we have in this country, is going to keep making waves. But why is it such a big deal, y'all? Because you got to understand, there is a symbolism behind this. There is an overall push in the imagery. And as you look at it, y'all, as we close on this one, right? Look at this imagery right now. It's a powerful brother. It is two black men in the Delta, self-made, figuring it out and making as much money as they can. The movie Sinners is a symbolic form of black men trailblazing. I didn't say they do it the best way, but it was a disheartening view of a microcosm of how life in the South for many black Americans was at this time. Iconic series, iconic film, 10 out of 10. I want y'all to pay attention to something. The people that hate Sinners, commentary is always the same. It's a mediocre film. It wasn't that great. It was overhyped. I don't think it deserved it. I always ask the follow-up question. I want you to too. What was the film made in 2025 that was better? Pause after you say it and listen. What they're saying is that I don't like the way the black people looked in that film. I don't like the way that black energy is coming around in that film. They don't dislike the film. Most of them haven't even watched it, in my opinion, because there's no way you can watch this active seminar, see how good it was filmed, how organic of a presence it had, and not like it. No, y'all. What they're saying is that I do not want this energy to be there anymore. Because when you look at our past winners, and I'm going to pull it up right now, our past winners and past films, this film is the first pro-black one that stood on FBA business and FBA characters. Most of the other films that the Oscar winners definitely deserved it, y'all, not discrediting them. When you look at their filmography and what they had to take to win it, it was different. Denzel had to be a crooked cop. We know what Halle had to do. We know what Sidney Poitier had to be. We know who Forrest Whitaker had to be. And we know what Will Smith had to overcome and deal with. This film, shout out to y'all, man. Sign out to y'all. Tell them, I'm always tell them, everything they hate, there's a new norm. Facts. What I want y'all to know is this, y'all, is that this film truly will inspire the next generation of black Americans to have a different energy, because AI is going to even the playing field. I don't know if y'all know that. AI directors, AI filmographers, AI moving in the spirits. And I want y'all to pay attention to something else. What Ryan Coogler did, he don't know in real time. And this is just for me speaking, y'all. The whole notion of code switching to get what you got to get is dead. If you're good enough, you will get the love. If you're talented enough, they will support you. You do not have to fit in a box anymore. And this is to all my brothers, my code switch brothers, because I don't code switch, ladies and gentlemen. I can work in corporate environments. I could be in professional spaces, but I don't switch my tone. I don't monitor how I respond. And I don't change up who I'm dealing with. I treat them all the same. And I want you to hear this brother's response and how he speaks and why it's so iconic.
What's up? Please, yo, please, hey, please sit down, cause I'm very nervous and they gonna play me off. Cause I grew up in Oakland, Richmond, California. And we can talk a lot, so I want to thank the Academy for thinking of our movie that came out almost a year ago. This is an incredible honor. I want to thank my fellow nominees. You guys, I want to thank y'all for the gifts that y'all movies were and for y'all friendship over the past years. And
if you do not know, Oakland is a town, the start of the Black Panther Party, and that imagery of Black Americans on the West Coast are really different. So this is very deep. And I want you to pay attention to something. Ryan Coogler got straight backs, braids, cornrows, and sounding like this. Love it.
Once, I want to thank everybody that was involved with this movie, starting with Warner Brothers. Mike and Pam, you here, David's here somewhere. Everybody, all my cast and crew, please stand up. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Yo, you guys are, oh my God. You all are winners in my book. Y'all are winners in my book.
No, Ryan, you were the winner, bro. I know you humble about it. I know how diligent and how apologetic you are, but you won that, bro. You broke down the barriers. You killed it. You deserve all praise and admiration, and you ain't got to share that.
Honey and Zenzi Cooley, you guys are the best producers in the world. Zenzi, you're the best wife and mom in the world. Every day I get to spend with you is better than the one that came before it. And to my parents who are here, thank y'all for all the memories. Thank y'all for making me believe in myself. And to my babies that are at home watching, I apologize for all the time away. Dad loves you. Memories are all we have. I hope I've given you some great ones. And when y'all blessed to live a long life and Dad becomes just a memory, I want y'all to remember this one thing. I love y'all more than anything. Thank you.
Man, I love that brother, man. I truly do. You know the reason why I love what what Ryan Coogler stands for? He got the braids. He got the talk. He has the energy. He embodies, speaks, and carries himself like a Black man. Many times when we have Black men in those positions, they want you to look a certain way. And the reason why I say that, y'all, as somebody that went to college and went the whole HBCU route and things like that, you wouldn't know, as most people always say, King, you don't carry yourself that way, right? But many brothers that go that route do have a desire to code switch. And in my life, I'm going to use me, y'all. And this is for all my foundational young brothers out there. You are good enough the way you are. You don't have to do it like they did it. If you didn't grow up like they did, you don't have to assimilate or try to be like them. If you are good and excellent at your career path and your job, F what they talking about. All this notion that you got to be this type of way, you got to speak this type of way, that was something that I'm pretty sure that Ryan heard, and I heard a lot going on. As a kid that grew up in the projects, the one thing I always heard, especially about those certain type of brothers, that assimilation type of brothers, if you don't have that assimilation spirit, you're a problem to them. If you don't carry yourself in a way that they feel appeasing, you're a problem to them. But I want you to understand something. The work is all that matters. If you have the work ethic, if you have the determination, if you are excellent in your craft, if you believe and stand by what you are doing, don't nobody give a damn about everything else. Right now in this economy and moving forward, your work ethic is what the statement you'll be judged by. And don't take it to me. Look at the people you see getting the things. Look at the awards going out. Your filmography, your numbers on the scoreboard, your talent level, your dedication to your craft is what we care about. Look at his brother's resume. Don't look at me. Look at his resume. Sinners, Wakanda, Black Panther, and Creed. Outstanding Black films. Outstanding bodies of work. Outstanding filmographic history. Outstanding numbers. Outstanding love. outstanding joy. Why am I saying this, King Crowder? Why are you bringing this up right now? I'm saying this is because I really do believe, y'all, we in a new era. And the new era that we are in, speaking on FBA creativity, if you want to win, be yourself. Stop making music, stop making songs, stop talking, stop trying to be. Listen, don't nobody give a damn about how they did it. You know what I want to see now? This is just me. I want to see a hip hop artist working at a fast food chain, struggling, talking about coming up. I don't want to hear no more rich raps. I don't want to hear everybody made it, because everybody ain't got money. Because I live in the real world. And I know most people ain't got money. The people that make real world meaningful music, real world meaningful songs from the foundation will win. FBA creativity has to be a focal point from now on. And the reason why I'm saying that is your brother Ryan Coogler and the excellent Michael B. Jordan showed the same thing. Be excellent. Be original. Make films that make head waves. Make films that are interesting. Work on the writing, the craft, the sportsmanship, how you show up, and people will support you. And I'm not telling you something I don't do. I'm telling you something that I live and do myself. I'm from a small country town in Roanoke, Virginia, y'all. A freedom town for Black Americans. There's no way coming to a metropolitan city I would ever think I'd get this much love. But the only reason why you get love, y'all, is you be the person that you say you were going to be. You give the love that you expect, and you show support that you want from other people. Why is that such a big deal? I like to stress those things because our creativity is the new norm. FBAs, we are getting the love and support, and we can literally profit from our stories on what we're building now. There is no more, I'm this, I'm going to benefit. No, sir. Well, the reason why the delineation movement, as I put in the title, is such a big deal is because these stories right here can only be told, acted, supported, and showed by us. The last few films that did not have that thumbprint by us flopped. They failed. They went by the wayside. They didn't get the support. So the Black economy, along with the Black political movement, the Black force, the Black generational run, is going to be profitable. Not just to take advantage of it, but you got to show and prove. And what Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan did in this economy was show that our creativity is marketable, it's profitable, it's serious, and it is wanted. It is. So now on, y'all, when we have a conversation, mostly and importantly with Black children, we got to talk about these type of things. We got to make sure we show them the physical reputation of these type of people. And you got to show them that it is possible. Next, man, I want to say something that I did not know. It was this iconic sister's birthday, man. I'm going to definitely make a TikTok about it tomorrow, but I got to do it tonight. Happy birthday, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. If you do not know who she is, she personally, it is 2 books that I read earlier in my life, y'all, around the age of 16 and 17 that changed my life, my mental capacity, and started me on my journey and identification of self. And her book, The ISIS Papers, should be a mandatory read for any foundational Black American boy turning into manhood at an early age. Why? Because it deals with every question, every issue, and every desire to deal with in life. It deals with race. It deals with economics. It deals with gun culture. It deals with violence. It deals with socialization. It deals with mate selection. And most importantly, it deals with our family dynamics. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing does not get the flowers she deserves, does not get the accolation that she deserves. I firmly believe that her psychological book that she gave us almost 20, 30 years ago, labeled The ISIS Papers, is probably the greatest psychological book on the foundation for Black Americans that I probably have read in my life. And I read a lot, y'all. Everything you see back here, I've read. Ain't no cap in my rap. But Dr. Cress Welsing was a trailblazer. She was therapeutic. She was beautiful inside and out. She gave us the game and she charged just a low fee for it. And I do not believe a lot of our black icons we big up enough. But I would love to see a film about her for real. Because if you've not seen her interviews, if you've not seen her transparently speak, if you've not heard her boldly talk about things, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, man, is just iconic. It's also about self-respect. There's not really much respect there. Our wins are to bring us joy. They hate anything. Joshua chose Trump for the spiritual jump. I have no idea. My mom and dad in the home, they hate our joy. I love black families, marriage, and working towards a gold mine. You feel me, sister? I'm serious, man. But like what she did for me, y'all. Like at the time, you know, my parents were going through a separation. I'll be real with y'all. Y'all know me. I keep it funky. My mother and father were going through a divorce at the time. My father was 5%. You know why? My parents were going through a separation with their own problems. I'm transitioning out of the home, going to college. I'm a first generation college student. I don't know anybody. I ain't got no damn connections. I'm from a small town, and they shipping me all the way to a city I ain't never been to. When I land in the 757, shout out to the second home of Hampton, Norfolk, DC. But I mean Hampton, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, Suffolk. The 7 cities was my second home after I left my country town. And after I left my country town, I went to a big city, y'all. Mind you, I don't know anybody down there. My mother don't know anybody down there. My father ain't know nobody down there. The only time I actually went to vacation was when we had our little money. We went to the lake. So I'm going to a place that is completely foreign. I have no connections. I have no prior skills. My family has nobody down there. They dropped me with their meager resources that we had at the time because we were a working class family trying to figure it out. And my dad gave me 3 books that he told me to read. The first book I ever read, it was called Hill Hopper, Letters to a Young Brother. The second book was the autobiography of Malcolm X. And the third book was the ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. And I believe personally that helped me catapult myself to believe I could do anything in front of me, because there's no way, looking back at it, y'all, what I didn't have, how much I was tired, that I actually got to conquer those type of things. But we don't know the power of reading. If you don't have money, reading helps you travel in your mind. It is not only a mind exercise like you work out your body that's important. Reading for a young man especially helps you think, helps you have quiet time, helps you develop. And as somebody that didn't have cable and had reason to do type of things, it helps you calm your spirits. So I didn't know it was like an activity I had really deep that I wanted to learn. I ain't gonna say I was a scholar and I read books. No, sir. My reading journey literally started when I was 16 and 17. And it started because I stopped reading things that was not about me. My parents made the acting good to invest in things that featured me. Because every time you in school as a young man or a young lady, you don't hear anything about you. And the reason why is the Daughters of Confederacy and the Sons of Confederacy influenced the most of the South's curriculum. But that's an even deeper story for another day that we definitely need to dive into. But after we know these type of things about why is there no black curriculum? Why is there no truth about the Delta? Why is there no truth about these type of things? And when you go outside of that prayer view and you learn, your mind starts to open. And as the great Dr. Cress Welsing quoted, and I even remember first, the mind is the first thing that needs to open for a young man. Once your mind is open, everything else can come to you. So again, this iconic FBA icon passed away years ago, but to me, she still is high in my regard based off what she stood for, based off what she taught, based off her groundbreaking research and how much of a big deal it was to me. I love you forever, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. You changed my life forever, my trajectory, and you don't realize even with that book, you might not even thought about Little Country Boy Would Love It. Hey, it helped change me. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. Keep moving on, y'all, as we keep going on with the live on Sunday, man. Next up, if you did not know, man, the people, the liars were out doing what liars do. She is amazing, man. I know. Happy birthday to her. She never backed down. I loved her. Does that, bro. What? I don't have no idea what you're talking about, man. Hey, he did their job. They did. You're right, brother. They did their job. They did their job. What did it do, Bobby? But I agree, y'all. Like I said, as a young man, you don't realize and learn at the time. But those type of stories and moments we share with each other, they're important. You know what I'm saying? But Michael B. Jordan does some straightening. Take a listen.
My own family heritage and lineage a little bit. My dad's side of the family is from Shreveport, Louisiana. My mom's side of the family is from Hope, Arkansas. So having a family history and lineage from the South is something that was always there. I guess realizing and contextualizing a bit that the movie that we were making somehow is basically my grandparents' story also. Realizing like you only really realize your grandmother and your grandfather, you only know them as older people. But you forget they're like they were 25 too, having a good time, you know what I'm saying, and trying to, deal with the harsh reality of the Deep South and Jim Crow era, and how they were trying to find a piece of freedom and a piece of themselves, my own family heritage. And
hopefully all those conversations about his ethnicity, where he's from, what he believes in can be laid to rest. He is FBA on both sides, ladies and gentlemen. Michael B. Jordan ran down the history, ran down the legacy, gave the detailed environment. And I believe, y'all, as a new normal, let me throw it out there, King Crowder. We need to throw out our family's legacy early on to remove all those disparaging conversations. The only people who get offended by their family legacy don't have one. You should be able to name off quickly. My mother's side of the family comes from Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, Monroe, North Carolina, Roanoke, Virginia location. Migrated there after the Great Civil War movement. My father's generation, my father did not know his father. He was a product of the South, maybe relationship with his mama was doing a thing. He migrated down from Virginia, met my mother, and they created our our legacy, our 9 siblings in our family legacy. We should be able to talk about where we come from, our family history, our family dynamics, our broken down research, and our genealogy. Asking where you're from should not be confrontational. It should not be uncomfortable, and it should not be difficult to understand. It should swing off your tip, swing off your tongue, swing off your motion. Let me tell you why. If you are from the South, I know a lot of people are not from the South. You cannot go to no place in the South and somebody not ask you where your mama went to church at. You can't. So these questions should be normal-esque. But I believe in the lexicon that we deal with, we got to start normalizing on a mass scale. I do in my personal life. I do all the time. But the reason why I believe it has to even get more stronger, ladies and gentlemen, is because the disrespect by a certain group of people is becoming so dang on strong, saying dang on disrespectful, that if we don't start addressing it head on, it's going to be more and more confrontational. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. They did a job. You're right, man. You're right. You're right. They did a job. Y'all right. Y'all right. Y'all right. Y'all right. Y'all right. Let's keep going.
So I was scrolling on Twitter and I seen this tweet. They say the clubs in the South need to play more Afro beats or Caribbean or African music. The disrespect and the audacity be so loud.
If you did not know, y'all, it was a big firm conversation this week about people saying people in the South need to play Afro beats. Can we acknowledge something? The Afro beat wave is done. It's over. Nobody likes it. And you cannot tell foundational Black Americans to play that stuff. I'm telling you right now, y'all. If you play 3 or more Afro beat songs back to back, party over. You can mix one in. You can play a feature. But if you play that songs back to back to back to back to back, I'm leaving. Why? Because they are disrespectful. When the energy came about, when people began to support your music, you began to say things. You niggas have no culture. You niggas don't work hard. Remember that? I do. I remember Burna Boy getting on stage, looking like Master P, telling me that we don't have no culture. So that was the beginning of the end to the Afrobeats wave. But for people that do not come here, that reside in our country, to still push that narrative, have to understand the foundation are gatekeeping. The strength and the way we're responding back is the new normal. So when you say disrespectful things, you will get a disrespectful response in return. Energy is matching energy. Confrontation is matching confrontation. Disrespect is matching disrespect. Slurp is going for slurp. There is no more you go low, I go high. There is no more let's be understanding. Nobody's on that wave anymore. Nobody's with it. The generations that were allowed to let that slide are elders. They are not as influential. The ones that are influential are speaking a different message. And what we're saying is that if you are disrespectful, we matching it. When you say a disrespectful comment, we're matching it. Let me let her keep talking.
Be so loud, because what do you mean? You go home. It's really that simple. And I think when Americans say go home, they take it as like we're trying to throw that in their face. No, we're dead serious. Go home. If you want to listen to more of your music or more of your sound, go home. This is America. To think that you live in America and trying to tell American people that they need to play more of this music in American clubs, and you can't get no more slower than that. That's like us going to the Caribbean or to Africa or to anywhere in the world that's not America. We're in their country and we're in their clubs or restaurants or whatever, and we're telling them, hey, yeah, you need to play more American music.
And I have to say something for you, brother. Watch 247, watch 272. The reason why the East musically has fallen off is because you've tried to be too accommodating. Nobody down south listens to it. None of the East Coast artists are popular. Nobody under 25 listens to New York East Coast rap because you are afraid to be confrontational. Down south is very confrontational. We're very delineation and gatekeeping, and we're also standing on business. So you may be okay with it, but let's keep it funky. New York East Coast culture is not the foundation culture. In the foundation culture, we don't like Afro beats. We don't. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no Sakura. I don't want to hear that for 5 straight songs. It's not good. And like she said, if you want to hear it respectfully, go home. Go back to where you're from. Go back to where you live. But to say in the foundation that we have to play Afro beats, we're not going to do it. You don't accommodate us. You don't respect us. We are not going to respect you. Remember how the energy goes. You have been disrespectful publicly. Now they're matching it publicly. I think that's what she's saying.
Music. Sorry to break it to you, babe. You have no say-so in what music is going to be played unless you go and open up your own little Caribbean African club and you can play all the Afro beats you want. But until then, listen to that Lil Wayne and go sit the F down.
I just think it's really a new wave, y'all. And what I'm starting to notice, y'all, is I live in Houston, right? I live in H. Shout out to the H town. Many of us feel strongly about this. They really do. And anytime you go out, and I have a lot of New Yorkers that have migrated to Texas. They know, hey, this is black business. This is FBA. We'll hear a song. Let it be quick. Let it be mixed in. But 30 minutes of Burna Boy? Hell no. 30 minutes of soccer? Club is over. Music is over. And I don't think people understand. A lot of times when we say the delineation movement, how people are acting, we really think it's an online thing. People don't understand, like, no, man, that's actually a real, you know what I'm saying? People are feeling some type of way about that. And delineation and what's staying on code and what people are addressing is real. And I believe it's being sparked off because the disrespect has been so loud. And I believe people that are from down there, you guys slows down style. New York came up more of a tempo. We gatekeep also. I completely disagree, brother. Like you disagree, I completely disagree. New York panders. New York don't stand on business. I run into New Yorkers all the time. The reason why New York City fell off because y'all don't stand on FBA business. You let the tethers run wild. You don't slap them. You let 6ix9ine say the N-word and ain't nobody checking. Conversation open, bruh. There's no way down here anywhere a Mexican could be the biggest face of our industry without somebody checking it. I'm just saying. Love New York City. My father's from New York. But y'all fell off, fam. We gonna keep it 1,000 here. Respect New York City. Love New York City. Shout out to my New York City that rock with me. But we gotta keep it 100. New York has fell off when it comes to that. And I got New York City homeboys, my pops, my cousins. I say it to their face. I was raised in the South, both culturally. I am of the South. It is very much, let's get along. It is very much immigrant culture. It is very much all lives matter. A lot of people don't stand on toes, 10 toes down up there. They just don't. And the reason why we got to point that out is because I don't see New York City videos like this. Shout out to this brother, man, talking about back to South Florida culture being FBA.
Man, y'all check this shit out, man.
Black culture in South Florida is really just Jamaican and Haitian culture. Black culture in South Florida is really just Jamaican and Haitian culture. A little bit of Trinidadian, and a little bit of things that we may have adopted from our Hispanic and Latino counterparts, but for the most part, Black culture in South Florida is just Haitian and Jamaican culture.
Come on now, silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. Remember, our parents told us how y'all showed up to Miami or other places in Florida with them dirty flip-flops and them big old Bluetooth earpiece in your ear, not speaking a lick of English. We gave y'all style and swag. Now, as a Florida native who has 3 generations in Miami, 4 generations in Florida, South Florida and Florida is heavily Black American Southern culture. And the reason we know this is because if your culture was so strong and dominant, we'll be assimilating to you. But instead, the opposite be happening. A lot of y'all be cosplaying us, acting like us, dressing like us, and talking like us, knowing damn well your parents don't want you sounding or looking like that. A lot of you Caribbeans, Haitians, and Latinos don't understand this. Outside of South Florida or Florida, nobody knows y'all. Most Black Americans don't know what a Haitian looks like. Most Black Americans or other groups of people don't know the difference between a Cuban and a regular white person. And the reason is because your culture is not dominant or influential enough. Hence why your islands or the countries you come from are not popping. If it was, the culture would be popping on your island and we would have heard about you. But we don't hear about you until you come over here.
Shout out to that brother with those fire takes, man. If you do not know what he's saying, he is circling the wagon. He is standing on FBA business, shouting out what Black culture is. South Florida is Black culture. The Seminoles, the Wicks, the gold teeth, the donks, the music, the cultural references. I've been in Overtown. I've been in Broward County. All I saw were pork and bean projects. You can name it. Is Black American culture. Now recently, the camera for lights, man. Facts on the camera for the lights, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. NYC is more versatile. I disagree, brother. You are allowed to have your opinion. Your opinion. When the bunny's hugging and kissing him out the camera, nasty work, man. You ain't special. Everybody's getting checked. Big facts. Everybody getting checked. We have so much going on here. We can't play a certain uphill batter. I do get it too. You made much points. I always do, brother. It's all love. Remember, we talking, we having real conversation. Ain't no disrespect when I'm talking. We just gotta keep it 1,000, right? That's all I'm saying. We showing that we keep it at 1,000. But yeah, absolutely, brother. Brother stood on code. South Florida is where many Black Americans reside, live, and have an energy. If you do not know, y'all, shout out to the historical lessons. Shout out to the door being ununified. Remember this, y'all. There was a North and South Underground Railroad. Did you know that? There was a way that people fled to the north which was the heritage that we learned about in history. But many people don't know that there was a South Underground Railroad because Florida was not originally an American colony. It was a freed Spanish colony where many people who escaped and forced themselves removed from slavery went to seek refuge. So many of the South Floridians that became Seminole, freedmen, free people that earned their freedom have a different energy. That's why the Wicks, the domination culture, the battle, the dark skin, the beautiful letters, the cars, the gold teeth, that is all FBA Florida culture. Now, FBA culture is different by city. Black Americans are different by region. You can't tell me that a person that's from Virginia and a person from Louisiana are the same. You can't tell me a Black American from Florida and a Black American from Tennessee are the same. We're different. We're different culturally based off our regional norms. But as far as our essence and spiritual normalcy, we're congruent with each other. But right now, when I say that the reason why our creativity, why that our FBA legacy is being unified is that these conversations among all age groups, and this brother Lexi, you're a little bit younger than me, from South Florida, is speaking publicly and openly about the legacy. 10 years ago, that wasn't so much. 15 years ago, that wasn't so much. A lot of the times when we heard the disrespect, we didn't check it. We let it slide. We let it go by. We tried to be reasonable. We tried to make sure that we heard them out. But from now on, I want you to even catch this, y'all. Joe Budden's podcast was speaking about Michael B. Jordan winning. I want you to catch what Joe said, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Even if only one night only. Get these British motherfuckers the fuck out of here.
How many times have you heard me say that? That the British class of Black actors that went over here that were go along to get along, that were nice court jesters who don't speak on anything, who try to undermine our roles, to whenever a Black issue or struggle comes about, they don't say nothing, aka the BAFTA, that many Black Americans have noticed that. And you have a syndicated podcast. Shout out to the pod father, Joe Budden, for speaking on this because I 1,000% agree.
Oh, that was so great. Yeah, pan the camera to Damson. Let me look at him for F1. Get these niggas the fuck. Hey, and I love these guys. But it's been the whitewashing of just Black American male actors.
That's a good point.
Yeah, enough.
I want y'all to pay attention to that rhetoric. Lineage business, lineage conversation is in the lexicon. Joe Budden said a word that I want y'all to catch. He pointed out Black American. He didn't say African American. He listened to the grassroots. He didn't point out pandering. Joe Budden made a quick distinction about the Black brother Michael B. Jordan and who he represents. The cultural norm, the rhetoric, the creativity, the gatekeeping, delineation, how people feel, the energy is all different now. And I wanted to play that short clip to say, in real time, ladies and gentlemen, FBAs are more on code than we've ever been. We more on code. We support each other. We love each other. We believe in each other. And our vision is coming about. And what we have done with the film centers is we have kicked down the notion that Black men don't support each other. Because yes, we do. Maybe the brothers you know don't support each other. Maybe the sisters you know don't believe in each other. But the brothers around the globe that are actually producing in the forefront, that are fathers, that are husbands, that are family members, that are businessmen, that have companies, that employment, that are corporate, do support each other. That notion that we can't work alone, that notion that we can't do business, that notion that we don't build anything, that notion and that propaganda, because it's false news, yellow journalism, whatever you like to call it, has officially been popped. I'm not saying we didn't have a low moment. I'm not saying we didn't have our difficulties. But moving forward on, those narratives are gone. We have seen it over and over and over and over again how building, how growth, how transition, and how the new normal is about to be what we are understanding. And why does that matter, King Crowd? It matters because the next up on the list that we really need to tackle is, in my opinion, and this is near and dear to me, y'all. This is just my opinion, is that 40%, 44% of Black families' family reunions are down due to the dynamic change of our grandparents, due to the dynamic change on how we grew up and how we live. Now, this is going to be for me. This is just a me topic. I'll point this out. FBA crowd of game. Millennials, we on the clock. Millennials, we are on the clock. You know why? If more than half of our family have not had a family reunion in the past 10 years, we have not had a family business meeting. Pay attention. A family reunion is half fun, but it is half business conversation. For example, Granny is about to retire. What are we going to do about the taxes for this house? Cousins is about to have a graduation next year. Are we all coming to support? Hey, we have 2 graduations, one in New Jersey, one in Florida. Half the family's going to go here, half the family's going to go there. Hey, one of our mothers is going to retire and she wants to sell her house. Who wants to potentially take it over? Hey, we have an issue with one of our cousins in jail. We ain't gonna got no money from a lawyer. We're gonna let him sit down. But maybe we all pitch and throw him some books so he can read. Maybe that he can change his life. Hey, we have family goals happening in our family. We don't talk about it. I'm not saying that we got to be overly enmeshed, right? I think that it's unrealistic. And I do believe your intermediate family matters the most. I'm not saying that. My intermediate family matters the most. New babies, lady, baby shower next week is all most important to me. But I do believe the overarching big goals, the milestones in our families, we're missing them. We're missing them because we were taught career, college, travel, which are important. But when you look at the full scheme of overcoming things that we need to refocus back on, family, mate selection, generational wealth, is whatever they call it, right? Or economic stability and families. So all of those things we mentioned about Black family reunions being down, I believe that the millennial generation, we're starting to be transition to our elders. We have to solve it. How do we solve it, King Crowder? Why does it got to be on our burden? Because we're the main ones talking about the family dynamics. We're the main ones talking about the family problems. We're the main one talking about people can't solve it. So if in your family right now, I'm not saying that you got to solve it this year. We're solving it we're having our first family reunion. Go with me. We are having our first family reunion since 2007. We're having it this August. The reason why it was sparked so much was because of my slain baby brother, man. My brother was murdered, y'all, right? And along with them things that happened that was very traumatic, the one thing that we always talked about as a family was always getting together. Now, the spark came from that, has implemented to other things we're going to do along with the trade day. But the one thing that I learned immediately from that situation was we do not have the endless amount of time we think we have. Our families are getting older. Our parents are getting older. Our mothers are getting older. Our grandmothers are getting older. Our nieces, our cousins, our loved ones, we're having more children. Number 3, we have to understand that we do not have an infinite amount of time left. So when this time that we have here, how do we maximize our activities? How do we maximize our opportunities? And as we talk about this, I personally believe the business conversation among families is missing. Of course, among your intermediate family, right? I'm not saying that, right? But your intermediate family has to be first. Your spouse, your partner, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, your husband, that has to be centralized first. Afterwards, you must have a family planning conversation. The reason why many Black Americans are not on point and on code like we should, we have gotten away from the purpose of what family reunions are. Family reunions are an action step to find out what is going on among y'all. My family's the Crowder gang. The Crowders, the Polks, the Andersons, the Garrisons, they are all centralized in one. Now, I'm not saying we all got to be on the same thing, but when a family member has a celebration, you should know about that. That is what causes the dysfunction. That is what causes the issue. I was born and raised in North. My spirit's in the South with my grandma. Facts. Gen X on the clock too, because we started down the old school and new school. Big facts too, y'all. You feel me, Miss Tanya? Oh, for sure. Bro, you love them while you can. For sure. I say it because y'all, like I said, it was an eye-opening experience to me. You know, I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all know me. I like to be transparent. And that experience taught me, that's the youngest in our family that's ever passed away, y'all. We have never had somebody before the age of 30 that really happened. Now, I've had the street ninjas in my family. The streets are a part of my family, right? But hearing a real-life soldier or something like that be that impactful happen, and thank God we had the financial resources. Thank God we had the ways to cover that incident that happened in a shocking way. But what about the families that don't? What about the families that have to come up with all that stuff in real time? I had a family member, y'all, and I'm gonna reveal this, that told me that a person in our family died, y'all, and they still don't have a headstone. A person that we know that I grew up with died when we were young, buried, but we don't know when. And as an adult man as I am now with children and a family, you think about that stuff like, damn, am I gonna be here just yapping? I'm not yapping in real life. I'm living out my purpose. I'm living out my causes. I'm running my businesses. I'm leading my family. I'm doing well on that aspect. I have a men's group. I'm doing well in Houston. I'm making the connections. I'm doing my part. But as we continue to do our part and God blesses you with what you have, you know, spiritual side, you got to really do more. And I believe this stat about the family reunion, to me, y'all, is crazy, man. I'm serious, man. And it's not a part of our culture to not do that. So as our elders have passed on and transitioned on and have done what they need to do, and they need to step down and enjoy their lighter years, this stat right here, y'all, personally, me among the foundation, I want to see this go down to like 5%. I'm serious, man. And the only way it goes down, I know it's uncomfortable here. I know people don't like it when you do it, is when you have the uncomfortable conversation. You ready for the uncomfortable conversation? This is what I'm going to start doing. I've already started doing. When you settling down, when you and that man gonna figure it out, when you buying your house, when we gonna try to figure that out, nephew, are you gonna get a real job? Niece, what we doing? Hey, baby girl, what you got going on? For real, like asking those real, not surface level conversations. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to people I don't have a relationship with, y'all. You know, everybody in my family I got a relationship with. I talk to them. But when I talk to them, I'm not talking to them on the, hey, miss you, love you. No, it's, hey, what's going on, baby girl? Hey, what's going on, nephew? Hey, what's going on, cuz? Hey, you feel what I'm saying? Love that the black people love Carrie. Life is around all of us getting real. But since everyone is online using their phone, make sure you talk through the outlets I do all the time. Well, there's nothing wrong with you having the family outlets about all the time, brother. I'm saying that family outlets about online don't hit as much as is in person. People say online all the time. I got boys that use online dating, right? And they tell me all the time how much they be dating. I listen, I hear them out. But until you meet that girl in person or that man, it ain't gonna hit the difference. It ain't gonna hit the same. My grandmother still carrying me. Always will. Shout out to your grandma. Facts, y'all, family, always. But and like I said, I'm not saying there can't be a medium of exchange for that to be a good thing. But what I'm saying is that now we're using the online as a crutch. You follow me? People use the online as a way to replace me seeing you and hugging you. Online is good. I'm online right now talking, right? And I get it. But I'm saying at the end of the day, when it comes to this family dynamic of 44% down, is that not shocking to you? It's shocking to me. And remember, family reunions are partial a business conversation. Think about this for a second, y'all. The Crowders, using me, have not had a business conversation in 19 years. And then we wonder why things ain't together. And we wonder why we're off code. And we wonder why disgruntled battles and fights come about. We ain't had a sit down on a formal invitation in 19 years. Of course it's not together. Now use your family in that same instance. When the last time y'all had a formal sit down? When the last time y'all had a formal conversation with everybody just chopping it up? When the last time have you had mano to mano, you have a conversation about somebody that you need to get closure with, that you need to understand, that you need to have a conversation with? Because remember, the first word in conflict If conflict, then it's resolution. So that means you gotta have that uncomfortable conversation. You feel what I'm saying? So if you can't name, discuss, talk about, dive into why this is such a big deal, to me, you're just avoiding the conversation. And as we continue to dive on in for the night, man, I want to thank everybody for chopping it up with me, man. Like, I'm serious. Thank y'all for tapping in with me tonight, man. It was important. I love seeing y'all, man. So I got two things I really want to make sure we hit up tonight before I close, man. Number one, call your people. Check on your friends and family. Check on your loved ones. Call your mom, your dad, your sister, your aunties, your brother, because you don't know when the next time you get to do that. Next, I want you to know your boy got a baby shower next week for my baby girl on the way. I tell you, got another damn crowd. Ain't that sad, y'all? Number more kids. Have more kids. The most important thing you can do for FBA is have more FBA families. I'm going to keep preaching that. Next up on the list, too, man, if you in Houston, I know the lady asked me last time. I did post a flyer. I know I forgot, y'all. Let me go ahead and screen it down. I will have my brother's game nights. You know, I got a black man's group in the city. I don't live what I don't talk. We will have another co-ed game night. That will be in April. So we got a little time. But I know we got the co-ed game night. I got my baby shower. And we have our community event on the next three major things that your boy King Crowder will be living out himself. So if you can make sure you tap into it or follow it, we will continue to talk about it and why it's important in real time. If you inside the city, man, you know what I mean? We can do it, man. And finally, as we can close out tonight, man, I want to tell you, remember, we are in a new era of people, love, and joy that we've never been in our lifetime. All the energy, all the new comments, all the new commentary is the new normal as far as the FBA family is concerned. The movie Sinners was a groundbreaking film because it was about the untold story of foundational Black Americans on the other side of the Jim Crow movement. It was unapologetic. It was strong Black male led. And the story was extreme symbolism on how the foundation works in this time. Why does that matter? Because it is not the only film that we will see happen in our lifetime. It is the first of many. So support Black films, support good Black movements, support good Black industry, support your creators, support your people, support your family, and most importantly, support your loved ones, your children, your wife, your family, your friends. Call them, check on them, love them, and support them. And until next time, share the live, hype the video, comment, like, share, man. Thank y'all for tapping in with your boy for another Wednesday tap in of King Crowder. Remember, baby shower next week, mixer on the way, South Park Sunnyside community-led event by your boy, or the next big things on the milestone. Book of the week, we already went over on the last live on Sunday. Replay the video and share it. Until next time.